Welcome to another episode of The Pickpocket. Here at The Pickpocket, we utilize the NBA category and the Fanduel app to help you win money. We had some great games last night. The Houston Rockets played the Dallas Mavericks. One of the main guys in the Houston Rockets, one of the best defenders on the team, PJ Tucker, blessed us. He had a great game last night. He played 35 minutes. He had 4 rebounds, 0 assists, and 0 points. So basically, he just ran a bunch of suicides for 35 minutes. We appreciate your contributions. We appreciate the workout that you provided us with. But seriously, man, some great games last night. We got some great games tonight. I want to thank all the new subscribers who subscribe to the channel. Please continue to like, comment, and share the videos. We are a small channel, so we need all the support and all the feedback we can get so we can provide you guys with the most value or with as much value as possible. So thank you to all the newcomers. Welcome to the Pickpocket family. I'm ready to get into tonight's game, so without further ado, let's head to the computer and get into the suggestions and analysis for tonight's games. Strategies and lineups for January 5th. Please follow us on Twitter at the Pickpocket Dfs. We are going to be keeping you guys posted as far as injuries. We're going to keep you guys posted when we post a video on YouTube. So please follow us on Twitter. We're going to be providing a lot of value on Twitter as well. So please hit that follow button on our Twitter page. We recommend that you whip out your phone and take a picture of this particular slide right here. You're going to see these symbols a lot throughout this presentation, and it's very important to know what each and every one of these symbols mean. So please take a picture so you can follow along, and it'll just be easier for you to understand the meaning of these symbols. Top 5 from tonight's slate by position. Point guard, we got Damian Lillard. Shooting guard, we got CJ McCollum. Small forward, LeBron James. Power forward, Anthony Davis. And center, Jokic. These players, if you can somehow get 2 to 4 of these players, your lineup should do very well if these players stay injury-free and stay out of foul trouble. Point guards, hitters. We like all these matchups. Damian Lillard probably has the best matchup as Chicago coincidentally ranks under Portland in fantasy points given to point guards. However, Kyrie Irving will have he won't have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is not going to be playing for the next few games. This is pretty much leading to him trying to carry the load and increasing both shots and possibly assists. Kyrie Irving is definitely talented. He's more than capable of getting assists. The problem is the simple fact is Kyrie, is he going to be eager or is he going to want to pass the ball? That's what it's going to come down to with Kyrie. He's a great point guard. He's one of my favorite players to watch. But, with no Kevin Durant, he may get in that mode where he's just not going to want to pass to anybody, and that could definitely mess up your FPPG a little bit. So we'll definitely be looking at that. He doesn't have any easy matchup as he's going against Mike Conley and the Jazz. Also, Jamal Murray didn't disappoint last game. He had 51 FDP, scoring 36 in that game. So he pretty much balled out. Mike Conley. Now, Mike Conley is going against Brooklyn. Mike Conley he's been playing really well, and he still only costs $7,000 in salary. If you're looking for a point guard who doesn't cost that much, and as you can see, he's averaging 33.86, and as far as FPPG, he's going against Brooklyn. Kyrie Irving's defense is not that great, so we expect Mike Conley to have a decent game. So if you're looking for somebody decent and cheap in salary, we definitely suggest getting Mike Conley. Also, DeJounte Murray. The good thing about DeJounte is that even though he is going against a tough defensive Clipper team, DeJounte does not need to score to rack up FPPG, As you can see, he's averaging 33.61 FPPG, and he only costs $7,000 in salary. DeJounte Murray gets steals, he gets blocks, and he gets rebounds, so he doesn't have to score. So if you're looking for somebody that costs the same as Michael Conley, you know, they're pretty much the same as far as FPPG. You could kind of pick your poison there. We expect DeJounte Murray to score his average FPPG, honestly. Also, we have Coby White. Now, Coby White is going against Portland. Portland's defense, when it comes to them guarding other guards, is atrocious. We expect Coby White to go off tonight. If you don't know what Coby White does, Coby White is he's a decent three-point shooter. He likes to shoot threes, and he's going to get you a few assists here and there. He may even get lucky, get a board or two. As you can see, he costs $6,200 in salary. He's averaging 27.51 in FPPG. He costs slightly cheaper than DeJounte and Mike Conley. So if you're looking for another good guard, the great thing with Coby White is the matchup. He's going against Portland. Portland doesn't defend guards well at all. So we expect Coby White to have a decent game. Shooting guards. McCollum and Levine will likely give each other great numbers. Being the better shooter, McCollum is probably the better option. Paul George will score his points, grab a couple rebounds, and not miss a beat guarding DeRozan. DeRozan fills the stat sheet, so he doesn't have to score a ton to give you great value for his salary. Mitchell has been subpar to his standards. However, he has managed to linger around his average. Brooklyn will likely fight for their lives tomorrow, so he's a safe hitter tomorrow. Shooting guards continued. Russell had a relatively good game, scoring above his average against Denver last game. Dylan Brooks almost got our stay awake icon, but they stayed close for a minute last game versus LA. We recommend him last out of this list. LeVert will fill in for Durant. Opportunity to gain above his average. And like I said, that is great for Karis LeVert, but it's all going to come down to, is Kyrie going to pass the ball? That's my boy, though. I love Kyrie, so don't get it twisted. Anyway, moving on. Small forwards. Kyrie, I'm sorry. I'm still laughing about Kyrie. Kawhi is looking to bounce back from a subpar game last game against his old team. He plays the San Antonio Spurs tonight. He'll have a young and energetic player on him, but Kawhi plays the game at his pace, and only he can stop himself from getting his average. Even a bad shooting night didn't stop Kawhi from reaching 30 FDP. Kawhi is always going to get you those steals and those rebounds, even if he's not scoring the ball. So please keep that in mind. LeBron James has been with this ankle injury for some time, so stay tuned, but he has played. Being his usual self in a night with subpar choices, don't be shy to pick him. Just stay alert on his status. Picking him with that high price tag, you're holding for at least 50 FDP. Small forwards, we got Keldon Johnson. I've been preaching Keldon Johnson for a long time now. Now, I know a lot of you guys are wondering, he's going against a tough Clipper team, a tough defensive team with the Clippers, which that definitely can alter his stats a little bit. But the good thing about Keldon is that he doesn't really have to score also. He's getting rebounds, he's getting steals. And when I say he's he's a very aggressive player, so he's driving to the basket. He's going to get to the free throw line. So he's going to give you solid FPPG. And he only costs $6,500 in salary. He is going against a great defensive team. So if you're nervous about that, you can definitely go Kyle Anderson. But he's also going against the Lakers. And you can also go, there's a lot of great guys on this list. You can go Otto Porter or Will Barton. But Keldon Johnson, he's young. He has the potential to have a great game. He's been playing out of his mind. I strongly suggest that you get Keldon Johnson, even if he does have a bad game. Like, that's how good Keldon Johnson is developing. So please look at Keldon Johnson. Power forwards, hitters. Not the best shooting night against Memphis last game, but Anthony Davis still managed to boost his FDP with 3 steals and 3 blocks. He's always good for a block or 2, rebounds, and a couple assists. That goes well with any scoring he does. His salary almost mandates a 45 to 50 FDP minimum, but never a bad option. Another player who can only be stopped by himself. Facts. More power forwards, more value power forwards. We have Covington, who he's still a solid player. We put him on the list, but Covington has been underwhelming thus far. Covington is a really solid player. Honestly, I just feel he's on the wrong team. Portland, they're just so guard heavy with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum taking a lot of shots. They don't really pass the ball. Or they don't really facilitate as they should. And I know a lot of people are maybe a little deceived by the stats. They have been racking up assists this year. CJ McCollum and Lillard have been passing the ball better, but they could definitely pass the ball even better. Robert Covington really hasn't found his groove on offense on this Portland Trailblazer team, but he's still a solid player, and he can have a breakout night any night. He only costs $5,000 in salary. He's a good defender. He's an okay rebounder, and he's a decent three-point shooter. So he can have a great night any night. They're going against a poor Chicago team, so I wouldn't be surprised if it happened against a team like Chicago. Paul Millsap has his moments in games instead of a full game. Same for Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum had a decent game against Phoenix. These guys are both up and down. You're taking a gamble with them, but we put them on here because they're still solid players. But, Batum, you don't know what you're going to get from him every night. And Millsap, you don't know what you're going to get from him every night. So definitely keep that in mind. If you wanted to pick between the matchups, obviously Paul Millsap has the better matchup going against Minnesota when compared to Nicholas Batum. Centers. We got Jokic, and we got Rudy Gobert. Now, only the Clippers were able to hold Gobert under that average. Every other team saw him provide stats to reach that average FDP. Another note to consider, he scores you at least 40 FDP, but has only scored 20 once so far this season. Jokic has scored only, I repeat, Jokic has scored only 44 FDP the last couple games. Only. Still worth the salary, but you can substitute Jamal Murray for a cheaper option for Denver players. You want someone in this game to prevent slipping in the contest if you choose not to go with Jokic. These are some other value centers. Valanciunas is always a great pick. There is no John Morant still, so Valanciunas is going to get a lot of field goal attempts. And he's definitely a decent rebounder. As you can see, he's averaging 34.25 in FPPG, and he only costs $6,800 in salary. So he's definitely a good pickup, and he's in the starting lineup. All right, mock lineup number 1. This is a really, really great lineup, really well balanced. Feel free to use 90% of this lineup as a base, and feel free to, or we're asking you to please substitute 1 or 2 players to get your own flavor to it. And we also have another lineup, which is very well balanced as well. I really like this lineup with Kawhi, DeJounte Murray, and you got Jokic, and you got CJ McCollum. So you got a lot of good hitters in this lineup. Very well balanced. Feel free to use this lineup as a base. Substitute maybe 1 or 2 players to get your own flavor to it. Remember, mock lineups are meant to provide a base for your roster. You can fill in where you think other picks would do better. We are encouraging you to please, if you do use these lineups, if you use our lineups as a base, Please, 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 please comment and let us know how that lineup did. We want all the feedback. We want to know if these lineups are providing you guys value. So please let us know. And please like, subscribe, comment your suggestions or questions, and thank you for choosing the Pickpocket DFS.